So there's a Fauci hearing, even though he's pardoned and they're not going to do anything to Fauci, but it's a dog and pony show. It's interesting, but it's a dog and pony show. For Dr. Fauci's not going to jail. Fires in Utah, nothing to see there. What else? They're messing with the water, and that's not an assumption, it's a fucking fact. All right? The New World Order, that's what they do. They tamper with shit, these New World Order followers, the B system, the deep state, the globalists, however you want to phrase it. We've been infiltrated by New World Order POSs. They fool with things like, say, the water, and then they see how we react. It's not an assumption. I don't know where the hell some jackasses are in all this. It's a fact. That's what they do. They see how we react, and then they take it from there. All right? It's ridiculous. They're doing all these things, and meanwhile, I thought Europe was already invaded during the Biden era, but apparently they're not done. Take a look what's happening in Spain. Invaders from Morocco. They say 60,000 of them invading Spain. And what do you think they're there to do? Are these doctors? Are they lawyers? And notice, where are the women? Where are the children? Most, it's men of fighting age, and that's what they've come to do. They've come to rape, they've come to kill, they've come to get the gimme dats. And this is what happens when you have libtards running the show. The usual suspects are coming. The suspects are coming, the usual suspects. Do you think they're Christians? No. Muslims? This is what an invasion looks like. This is an invasion. They're setting cars on fire. They're taking over the homes, Spanish people's homes. Now the Spaniards are sick and tired of this shit, and they're protesting this. They are protesting, but guess what? The New World Order Spanish police are keeping all their eyes on the Spanish protesters while all this is going on. The Spanish police are not doing anything about this. Oh, sure, they said they was going to send in the military. The military ain't going to do shit. They're going to be told to stand down. They're just going to show their presence and allow the shit to happen. Because this shouldn't even be a thing. The borders should not be wide open. Just like under Biden, they were wide open. Remember that? And we were invaded with about 40 million. But this is one town. The town of Ceuta, whatever, Ceuta. One town of about 80,000 people were invaded with about 60,000 invaders. They're filthing this place up. They're trashing it. They're bringing in all their third world shit. This is not an assumption. These are facts. So don't be a jackass out there. Don't be a moron. Of course this is allowed. No country worth its salt is going to have their damn borders wide open. This is an invasion. This is a takeover. If this was in a real world, if this was 20 years ago, if this is the World War II era, and they saw 60,000 men coming into their country, or attempting to, they would treat it as a war. But most people are used to drones and more modern warfare tactics while the old school invasion is going on. So they don't look at this as an invasion. They'll say, oh, they're just immigrants. No, they're not just immigrants. They're invaders from third world countries, and they're not there to assimilate. And these fucking invaders are actually killing the Spaniards now. That's not an assumption. I mean, someone in the comment section said, "Oh, you're assuming about the water. What? Who's doing it and how it's being done? Are you really that retarded?" Even Clown Slob said, "Cyber polygon, cyber attacks will hit all the infrastructure and the grocery stores and the transportation." These cyber attacks. Remember Cyber Polygon? They did that tabletop exercise. What if cyber attacks hit the infrastructure? What if it hit grocery stores and banks and stuff like that? Remember that? Well, that's what that thing was up there, 2-1 up there in Minnesota. Okay, it was them shutting the water off. Oh, it was a cyber attack, but we'll address it and get it back on. It was to test the waters to see how the people would react. They cause a problem, there's a reaction, then they give you their New World Order solution. So stop being jerky out there with this assumption shit. This is what they're doing. This is done on purpose as an invasion, and they're killing the Spanish. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. They're not sending their doctors. They're not sending their engineers. They're not sending their computer techs, attorneys. They're not sending their best, because there is no best from third world shithole areas that they come from. I'm not saying Morocco doesn't have any nice parts to it, but they're sending their shit. Just like they did under Beijing Biden, they sent their prisoners. They opened up their prisons. It's not assumption; it's a fact. And they sent them to the West. They let them loose from their insane asylums, and they sent them to the West, to England, to France, to Germany, other areas in Europe and in the United States, Estados Unidos. So don't be a jerk out there with these assumption shit. And your thumbs down clown, you go low, we go high. Read between the lines. That's for you. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. They're killing the Spaniards. This is a war. Okay, what you're going to see here is someone showing their cell phone with videos of these invaders going around killing Spaniards. So let's take a look. See? That's an invasion. Men of military age, fresh off the beach. They're not even dry yet. They still have water on them from being in the ocean, hitting the coast of Spain, and they're taking over the homes, they're burning their cars and attacking Spaniards. This is an invasion. This is a war. This is one of many wars that the New World Order is waging on us, but this is actually a tangible, visible part where you could actually see it. An invasion orchestrated by the New World Order to destabilize Spain, to cause chaos. There's no two ways about it. And the New World Order said, what are you going to do about it? Do you need another glaring example of what an invasion looks like? You should know these things by now. Under Beijing Biden, this is caravan after caravan was entering the West. Look at this. Look at this. This is Spain. And they're not Christian, they're Muslims. And they're there to destroy. I gotta keep repeating myself because some people out there go, oh, it's an assumption. No, look, Jackie, and see? Look at that. It's like the beach of Normandy, sort of, huh? That's what this looks like. This looks like, this is exactly like World War II, if I remember correctly. The invasion at Normandy. They look like ants, don't they? Look at this. There's no children there. There's no women. This is men of military age. Look at that. Pouring in like roaches, like ants. Coming to kick Spanish people's asses. Burn their cars, take over their homes, and kill and rape. They're not there for jobs. They're not there to assimilate. And this is coming to a town near you if you let it happen. If we collectively let it happen. Look at this. An invasion. Overrun. This is what happens when you have libtards, New World Order piece of shit, in charge. And this is what happens when you have libtards who watch fake news and say, oh yeah, we need to have more immigrants come to our country. More diversity. That's what libtards want. They want third world shit. They want to be controlled by Islam. This is how moronic these libtards are. But there's plenty of Spanish people that are sick and tired of this and are protesting this. But see, here's the problem with protesting. Do these people look like they're protesting? Are they holding up signs? Are they being orderly? Marching on the sidewalk? Huh? I don't hate to say it, but it doesn't look like protesting or voting your way out of this is going to happen. Okay? Protesting's, what do you do? Hold a sign? Hold a sign? Get the immigrants out of here. Get the invaders out of here. Please get them out of here. We do not consent. We do not consent. Is that what you're going to do? Huh? How's that working out for you? As you get run over? As you get overran by third world pieces of shit that are there to destroy you. How does that even make sense? And meanwhile, the police in La Policia in Spain, in España, what are they doing? They're making sure that these protesters are towing a line, or they'll get the beat down. Does that sound familiar? It sounds like 2020, right? All over again. When the protesters are around the world got out protesting in London, especially in Australia, but in even places in the United States, Estados Unidos. Remember, the New World Order police was out there to fight them, tell them to back down, get back in your cell, get back in your own prison, your home. Remember that? Remember that? The New World Order police? So don't think these police out there that are your besties, okay? They're just upholding the law. No, they're not. They're not upholding the Constitution. They're not serving and protecting the community. They're out there giving the community what for. And then they'll beat you down for you wanting to be free and not be locked down. They'll beat you down, these New World Order cops, if you protest your country being invaded. And if there are any good popos out there, they're not going to call out the bad popos, so they're not really any good popos out there. I don't want to hear that. They're New World Order cops is what's out there. And yeah, they're dormant right now in a lot of places in the United States because there's no lockdown. There's no people protesting en masse against the lockdown like they did in 2020. Because in 2020, those popos were out there and they were doing the same thing then as these police are doing in Spain now. The police in Spain now are making sure that people that don't want their country invaded and who are protesting it, those police, those New World Order police in Spain are making sure that they stay on the sidewalk and they don't stray out of line or whatever, or they get the beat down and arrested. Meanwhile, the country's getting fucking invaded. Why isn't the police taking care of that? Huh? Why didn't the police in 2020, when we were locked down and people were protesting, why didn't the police in the United States and other Western countries say, hey, you know what? We're here to serve and protect you and uphold your freedom and Constitution, and we don't agree with the lockdown either. We're here to stand with you. The police didn't do that. They were given the beat down. They were arresting people who didn't want to wear a muzzle in restaurants. Remember that? Instead of saying, no, I'm not going to arrest that family or kick them out of the restaurant in New York City because they're not wearing a muzzle. I'm not going to do that. They didn't say that. They said, okay, you gave me the orders to go arrest them or go kick them out of the restaurant because they weren't muzzling up and breathing in their own shit, and that's what we're going to do. They were order followers. Same thing here. So it's kind of like we're on our own. On the migrants, you jackasses, they're freaking invaders.
Migrants have died after tens of thousands of people.
Oh, 34 migrants died. I don't feel any sorrow for any of them. They're fucking invaders, all right?
Migrants have died after tens of thousands of people breached the border from Morocco trying to enter the Spanish.
Look at all the crap that they're leaving in the ocean. Look at this. They'll litter the whole country. They'll destroy it. Look at this.
Spain and Morocco have deployed additional security forces as authorities struggle to contain the.
That's bullshit, because if they had deployed, as they say, additional any security forces, this wouldn't even be happening. Your border should be secured. This shouldn't even be a thing. You can't pull this off for North Korea, China, or any other country that's worth its salt. You can't. Any credible country with borders is not going to allow this to happen. You couldn't try this in China. You couldn't try this in the real world, like the United States. Was invaded under Biden, but it's all bullshit. In the real world, this wouldn't be happening, okay? There would be protection. The border would be protected, and these bastards would be getting what for, but they're not. So don't cry to me, Argentina, saying, "Oh, now we're sending out the reinforcement." The damage is done, idiots. You should have had your border secured already. This is all bullshit.
Spanish Prime Minister Pedro
this is done on purpose.
Blamed trafficking networks for sparking the mass migration, and Spain says some 60,000 people in total have breached the border.
How would you know 60,000? Unless someone released 60,000, unless you were informed there were 60,000 by Morocco. Would you count them? Did you do a census?
Are still trying to reach Spanish territory. But now Moroccan police are on hand trying to stem the tide. Many who made it into Ceuta on previous days.
Yeah, now they're trying to do something about it after it's all done. This is all orchestrated.
Spain's Prime Minister Pedro.
Spain's government working in tandem with Morocco. That's not an assumption. It's very obvious. It's very obvious.
What happened yesterday as an attack. A violation of Spain's territorial integrity. Ceuta is a Spanish city, and what happened yesterday deserves our strongest possible rebuke.
Rebuke. I don't even want to hear. Okay, I'm gonna let this happen. Then I'm gonna say, stop that. We rebuke you. Stop that. You stop. You don't come in our country. You don't come in our country. You let it happen, bitches. Now you want to say, oh yeah, we're going to send our military and police. It's all a show. It's a show. Don't fall for it. They're doing this on purpose. You have New World Order pieces of shit that have infiltrated these countries across the board, and they're allowing this to happen. They're not on your side. These leaders are not, the so-called leaders are not on your side. You're being invaded, Spain. You're being invaded. And they said, we're not done. They literally said, we're not, this ain't it. We're going to, if you think the last 4 years from 2021 to 2024-ish or 20, something like that was bad, they said, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're going to take over Europe. You already got part of England taken over, London stand. It's all Muslims, right? You've had a lot of invaders go to different countries over the years, last 4 or 5 years, especially under the Beijing Biden watch, that era. But that was I guess that was a light wave, and now they're really going to go full tilt on this. Your head needs to be on a swivel, but you ain't voting yourself out of this. It's not happening. I don't think so. And if you're going to hold a sign, good luck with that one, because that's old hat strategy right there. That's what I got for you. Don't be a troll out there, all right? And keep your comments civil and respectful, damn it. I'm out.